back for another one. Today we're going to be doing Korean barbecue sticky ribs with some pork spare ribs. All right. So I typically ignore those ads you get that are sent to you in the mail from like your local grocery store. Sometimes there's some deals in there, but normally there's just not. I just go to Costco or whatever and pick up something. But I went to Costco yesterday, and the ribs up there right now, I think they were like $5.99 a pound, which is kind of high considering what I got these for. So the same thing, pork spare ribs up at Costco, $5.99 a pound. These at my local grocery store were $1.99 a pound. So that's really hard to pass up. So I went ahead, picked up 2 slabs of these. They really don't need much trimming. The bone is almost to the end here. I tried to trim this part off a little bit, but they're pretty good shape-wise. I paid like $10, $9.71 for this slab, $7.86 for that slab. You're feeding 4 or 5 people. You never know, maybe 6. People show up all the time over here on a Saturday. So it's just good to have a lot. So what I'm gonna do with these today, I'm gonna get them in a big bag. I'm gonna marinate them today. It's only 8 o'clock in the morning, so I'm gonna marinate these in the Korean barbecue sauce. This is a bulgogi marinade. Got it at Pan Asia. I kind of feel bad. My buddy Chris gave me a recipe from his wife. They're Korean, and how to make an actual sauce and marinade for this. But I kind of run out of time yesterday. So when I went to Pan Asia, I found this. It had a good review, so I went ahead and picked it up. So the plan is to just do a light marinade on this. I'm gonna let it sit all day. Probably about 2 o'clock in the afternoon. What I'm gonna do is come out, pull it out of the marinade, pat it dry, salt and pepper, just plain salt and pepper on this. Throw them back in, throw them in the smoker. I think I'm gonna do the offset today. I'm gonna be around all day. I'm not gonna be running around doing other stuff. So plan is to get these marinated, get them wiped down, salt and pepper, throw them on the offset. So I have not done, well I did a cook on there, but I didn't film it. But I did baby backs, and I don't know about y'all, but I don't really like baby backs that much anymore. Really leaning towards St. Louis style ribs, spare ribs. They're just meatier, they cook up more tender. They just seem to be better. I think everybody in the family likes them too. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is get these all seasoned up, get them marinated and ready, and I'm gonna throw them in the smoker. Real quick tip though, before I get everything set up here, I was gonna show you this. It's an easy trick. You've probably seen it if you haven't. But when you get a paper towel and you grab a hold of the silver skin on the back, once you just get it started on the spot, and it's hard to grab onto, if you put a paper towel in your hand and grab it, hold that side, and just peel all the way back. Typically you get a nice chunk each time you do it. And it's still got a little flap here, so I can grab that, pull it off, but I'll work my way down with this napkin in my hand, and that gets it a lot better. If you need to, you get your knife, find a bone, run that knife under there, and then just lift on it like that. That's all you need to do. If you start cutting it up into little pieces, it's a pain in the ass to peel all those little pieces off. So quick little tip for getting the silver skin off the backside of a rib. Ooh, I just got a little tab there. Trying to bust the hole in it. A little slippery right now, but I think what I'm gonna do is get a, yes. There we go. All right. Oh baby, that smells freaking awesome. I'm glad I picked this one out. They had a red tinted one that was, they said, for pork and chicken, but something about the brown one, I knew it'd be, that's gonna be awesome. It's kind of teriyaki-ish, but it's a little more sweet, which I like, because sometimes that teriyaki aftertaste ain't that good to me. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna coat the top of this really lightly. And then what I got this foil pan. I don't really have a pan big enough for these ribs to sit in. So I'm gonna put a little bit of marinade down in there, a little bit on top, and I'm gonna flip them over meat side down. And then I plan on just drizzling, maybe just mopping a little bit with this on the back side. They don't really need a whole lot on the back side probably, but anyway, get them set in there and kind of see how these turn out. I think that's gonna be good. So put a little bit on top here. Wasn't planning on filming this morning either, by the way, so just kind of get this stuff figured out, you know. Just a little bit on top. Make sure the whole thing's coated. It's just gonna sit all day. I mean, it's gonna sit for at least 6 hours. That way everything meat side is covered. I don't know where I got this little brush at. Probably just picked it up at the store. Like Price Chopper, or, you know, Walmart, I don't know. But it works good. The synthetic ones are better. Those ones with the real bristles on them, I haven't had good luck with those in the past. I've always had issues with them, like leaving bristles on the meat, and then you find one in a bite, and it's not very good. So just a light coating on there, I'm gonna drizzle some meat for the meat side down part here. I'll probably spread it out with my brush too. There we go. I'm also going to finish these off when I'm done pulling when they're getting ready to go back on the grill. Just with the heat, I'm going to be brushing some of this sauce on them as well, and then they will be topped with scallions and sesame seeds. So they'll even look good even if they aren't. Hopefully they'll turn out pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish these up, a little bit of sauce on the back side, and then just let them sit in the fridge all day. Come back and check in a little bit. So that's what they look like all wrapped up. There is quite a bit of meat on the back side of the spare ribs. I completely didn't even think about it. So it is good to marinate both sides. This is just a little leftover stuff brushed on the bones. So as you can see, hopefully that stuff soaks in really, really nice over the next 6 hours. And we'll get them wiped down, patted dry actually, and then I'm gonna put the salt and pepper on them. Maybe a little bit of onion powder, but that'll be it. And throw them in the smoker. Can't wait to get this started. All right, it's been a freaking busy day running around doing all kinds of stuff. I actually picked up another one of those smokers that you can find those Oklahoma Joe smokers under $100. Pick them up all day, bring them home, clean them up, put a fire in them, heat them up, put some oil on them, and you sell them for $200 all day. This is my third one I've done in like the last 4 weeks. If you guys can find those deals, I'm telling you, get out there and start doing that, make a little extra pocket cash. But I was wanting to start this at 2 o'clock and it's now 3:30, so we're gonna have dinner a little bit later than was anticipated, but I've been super busy all day. So anyway, what I'm gonna do is get these out of here, get all the liquid dabbed off of them or pushed off of them. You don't wanna put that on your smoker. You don't wanna cook that onto it. You want whatever's soaked into the meat. And I'm gonna do some salt, just salt and pepper. With that seasoning, that sauce, I'm not sure we're gonna need anymore. So I'm gonna go around, wipe this off of this one. It's crazy, it's way thinner after sitting all day in the fridge like that. You know, a little bit of excess on it's okay, you just don't wanna have too much. There we go. What I'm gonna do is just go ahead and, I'll just do a little bit on this backside since this backside of it is super meaty. So decent, it's a decent coarse ground black pepper. It's not like super thick like some of the stuff I've had in the past, like you can get on Amazon or whatever, but it'll do for today. The rub is not the party here. It's all about the marinade on it. There you go. Let's wipe off all the excess. It's super important. Otherwise you're gonna burn that stuff on there and it won't be any good. The one hand. There we go. Salt and pepper. You know I don't like that salt and pepper shit when it comes to briskets and stuff. I think everybody who says they do that and they like it, they never had a good rub. You gotta make one. I'm all about making it. Tell you what, I don't like that. A little bit faster this way. Oh yeah, way better spread now. There we go. Get some more paper towels. Wipe that off. You can see it change the color of the meat too. That's pretty cool. A little bit on the back side. These slabs are huge, by the way. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is putting one on the middle shelf and then one on top shelf. And what I'll probably do, get this initial probably 3 hours of cook at 250. And then once I've hit that hour and a half mark, I'm gonna take them and just swap them out. There we go. All right, that'll do. All right, get them outside, get them on the smoker, 250, and let these things just roll for at least an hour and a half. go out there, flip them around, and it's easier just to grab the racks in this smoker than it is to take the meat off. So flip these around, and then from there, I'm gonna bring them back in, I'm gonna wrap them. I'm gonna do a little bit of this sauce, a little bit of honey, a little bit of butter, and then wrap them up meat side down for about 2. Check on them, make sure they're not falling apart like too bad. And then when I put them back on the smoker to finish them, I'm gonna do just a little bit more of that sauce on top, a little sesame seed, be good to go. All right, get these bad boys on. I think everybody in the neighborhood's power washing something or freaking mowing the grass or something. Whew. I don't know if I trust that or not, but you can see those look pretty, boy. Those are gonna be good. Probably get a nice little bark on there, but nothing too crazy. I'm smoking today at 250 with cherry wood. Figured cherry would complement the apple and pear in this marinade pretty well. Woo! There she goes. I'm gonna get these on. All right, here we are. Starting them up 330, sitting at 250 cherry wood. And I got this new Cowboy charcoal. The charcoal is the briquettes. I don't know if y'all ever used these briquettes before, but they had these at Costco also. You actually get 36 pounds for 17 bucks, so it's a little bit more total charcoal than you do when you buy the lump. But they were out of lump. I've noticed that at a lot of places, even Walmart, they're out of their branded lump stuff. And every once in a while when I go up to Ace, they're out of the B&B lump sometimes. I'm not sure if everybody's just buying it or if it's a supply chain issue, but it's something. So anyway, gonna get these things rolling on here. And while these cook, I'll go show you guys that new smoker I picked up. Finally got my shop cleaned up a little bit. If you can tell, there's actually a little bit more room to walk, and got all my table cleaned up, got a new torch. You're gonna make some hinges. You're ready to finish cutting this door out. Probably tomorrow. I'm not gonna do shit the rest of the day. But we're all set up on here. Can't wait to get it done. Got a neighbor who wants me to build him one. And I got a buddy who just stopped by, said he might have a buddy who wants me to build him one. So these first ones I make are gonna be, probably would say priced really well considering I'm just learning how to do it. But here's the smoker I just picked up. If it had a little rust on it, and I just go around with the flat disc and just beat it up a little bit and get it off, and I'll wipe it down really clean. And after I wipe it down real clean, I'll get a fire in it, wipe it down with some canola oil, and I think it'll look brand new. The inside's in great shape. It's got a little bit of surface rust right there. That grate's not the best, but it'll work. And then the cooking grates are actually perfect shape, so. Hey, they're my neighbors. Say hi, guys. So, get this thing cleaned up. The bottom of this was really rusty, and I just took I'm gonna take a flat disc to the rest of that and just beat that stuff off of there, and then a little canola oil, make it look like brand new. No one will ever know. Quick, easy cash. Quick hour update. Looking good. Nothing crazy yet. Yeah, just getting a little bit of the fat broken down. Nothing getting burnt. Everything looks pretty good so far. Ooh, that's really tender right there. So I'm letting them go for another 30 minutes, and I might flip them, I might not. They look pretty damn even, so I will probably start spraying though in about 30 minutes, which is straight apple juice. I think apple juice would be good with this combo of cherry wood, and then it's got pear and apple in the marinade. So that's the next step coming up. All right, here we are at the 2 hour mark. Getting some good color on it. I think that's enough smoke. I'm gonna go ahead and pull these off, and I'm not probing for temperature necessarily. I just want to see it's not, I mean, it's like 150. I just want to see how tender it's getting, which spots aren't, but it's all good. That's how it's supposed to be. It's only 2 hour mark. I'm gonna throw this in the foil with the butter, honey, and a little bit of the sauce, and that's what we're gonna wrap these in for probably the next 2 hours. Check back here in a little bit. I'll show you how we're gonna wrap them up. All right, here's the wrap. I'm probably gonna put a little bit more sauce in there, just a little more, give it a little bit more moisture in the wrap. But that's plenty of butter. You don't need like a whole stick in each thing. So, but just butter, honey, and just plenty of sugar, and then the new sauce, the bulgogi sauce. So I'm gonna show you how hopefully you're doing this already if you're making ribs, but meat side down, just like that. Even though you got some good meat right there. Just a little bit of rub on there. Just like that. I bought the huge roll too of the heavy duty foil. It's like giant, like it's almost as long as the ribs. Actually, yeah, as wide as it is. So Best way to do this is to bring this first one over the top. This one over here. Then bring your ends in. That's what's cool about this foil is you don't got to put a top piece on. It's just it's wide enough to cover and then wrap around the whole thing. That's a good deal right there. I was hoping that was the case. Over. Nice and tight too. Yeah. All right. These will go back in the smoker just like that, meat side down, up in that moisture, wrap it up. All right, so this came out here, got the, check the temperature on these, probing them a little bit, and they're probing around over, like right around 198 to the 201 range. So I'm gonna do is pull this top one off first. Oh yeah, I can tell they're kind of folding already, so I don't want them to be, I want them to be tender, but I don't want them like falling apart so easy that, you know, you can't even enjoy to hold on to it and actually eat it. So get a little quick peek here, sorry. So this is what spare ribs kind of look like. You get that little bit of separation on the bone there. Pick them up and see. Folding fairly easy. All right, so this one here is probing 186. What I'm gonna do is just wrap it back up. Get a good seal all the way around again. I'm just gonna have to let these go. Thought they'd be ready. I'm gonna check that other one too real quick, but this one's definitely not ready, so it's good. What I'm gonna do too is take these and I'm gonna just go ahead and move them to the bottom rack. Straight back. Check this guy out real quick though, just in case. We got a bunch of kids in there hungry and it's getting kind of late. So this one was originally on the bottom rack. So it could be a little bit more done. We're gonna check it out though. That 195, 200 mark is really the spot. Yeah, so for some reason it's on the thin side, it's only 184. This thicker side, those probing 190. So I guess they need 45 more minutes. I'm gonna wrap everything back up and get them back in there. Messing around today, starting late, man. Locusts are already chattering and everything's going on here. So I'm gonna go ahead and check these. It's 7:30 now, so this is a total time of 4 hours. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's way better. Yep, that'll do. So what I'm gonna make a little foil boat, essentially, with this. Keep all the juices there so the bottom part can still get the juice. So just roll this down a little bit. It's a mess. Sorry, show the seeds. Alright, there's the foil boat on that one. I'm just gonna take some more of this Korean barbecue for the glaze. It's covered nice and evenly. Probably crank this up to 300, and from there, just keep an eye on it. And once it looks like it's glazing over pretty good, they're ready to go. Cut them out, take them out, cut them up. All right, looking good, nice and glazed. Down here in just like 10 more minutes, but I cranked it up to 350, so very excited to see how awesome these turned out. All right, quick peek at these up close before I cut into them. Got a house full of girls right now and they're all being loud as shit, so I gotta do this outside. So I'm gonna get a zoom on here and I'm gonna cut these up. Right. I just cut into a couple on the end here. Got that, pull that off, that's pretty tender. That's very good. If you always just do traditional ribs and you just doing your sweet sauce and your spicy rub or whatever it is you're doing, this is gonna be an awesome change up for the family. Sorry, I'm zooming down here, looking over here. For the family, something different to try. We're just having white rice with it, and that's all. So, spit out, fall off the bone, but not too easy. One little bite there. Yeah, just like that. So, those are great. That's that bulgogi sauce, and there's a whole section of sauces at Pan Asia, and I just found the one that I thought looked the best. I actually Googled best Korean barbecue sauce, and it was in the top 5, so can't go wrong with that. So go get you some of that. Next time I do this, I would love to make that recipe my buddy's wife sent to me, but like I said, I ran out of time for that too. So anyway, it's been a fun one. If you like what you're seeing, like, subscribe, share with your friends. Much appreciation. Thank you.